I thank the Chair, and I thank Mr. Every for appearing to explain how the administration decided to delay Obamacare's employer mandate. I didn't think it was possible, sir, but the administration's actions created more uncertainty back home in Texas 22 over Obamacare's impacts on their families and their businesses. The employer mandate was a low murmur compared to the full repeal roar I heard after March 23rd of 2010 when Obamacare was passed. But that changed when the employer mandate was delayed. That became a full-on roar back home in Texas 22. And that roar is locked on two questions. One, how can I plan for the future prosperity of my family? How can I plan for the future prosperity of my business? The second question, what change is coming next? Sir, under the Constitution of the United States, it's my job, my sacred duty, to get answers to those questions for the 700,000 people, Texans, who live in Texas 22. Sir, I demand your cooperation to get those answers. And now the facts. It seems this delay was ready for prime time by June 24th of this year. And I say that because CMS Administrator Marilyn Tavener, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, testified yesterday that she was made aware of the delayed employer mandate that was being considered on June 24th of this year. Yesterday, in your testimony in front of the Ways and Means Health Subcommittee, and right here, just about 10 minutes ago, you stated that Treasury's final decision to postpone the Affordable Care Act's employer mandate was made, quote, sometime in June, but it was considered in a very careful way for a while. My question, sir, who in Treasury took part in the careful consideration in the month of June? I need names and positions, please.
Congressman, would you like me to start with your last question or your first question?
I need names and positions, sir. My question is, who took part in this careful consideration in the month of June? Names and positions, please.
Okay. Congressman, the authority to make a tax policy regulatory decision resides in the Assistant Secretary. This is the position. The Assistant Secretary for Tax Policy within the Department of the
Name, please, sir. Names and positions, please. That's all I'm asking. I worked in the Senate for 8 years. I know what a filibuster looks like. Please, names and positions. Please help me. I have a duty to 700,000 people to get these answers.
Congressman, respectfully, I'm trying to answer your question fully. So the position is Assistant Secretary for Tax Policy, and that authority is delegated to the Assistant Secretary by the Secretary of the Treasury. The name of the individual who's Assistant Secretary for Tax Policy is Mark Mazur. He's the author of that blog post.
Yep, okay, got that from Chairman Barton, or Chairman Emeritus Barton. One more question, sir. Your lack of details doesn't support your repeated considerations, that you had careful considerations, your repeated contentions. As you might have done some research on my life, I'm a former U.S. Naval aviator. Careful to me means knowing your plane, your route of flight, and the obstacles en route. If Treasury's actions were applied to flying an aircraft, you've been on autopilot, asleep, for over 3 years, only waking up when the collision avoidance system was going, pull up, pull up, pull up. He pulled up, woke up, and avoided crashing the plane. I'll give you one more chance to help me out, sir. Considering that at least 7 components of the Affordable Care Act, the Class Act, the 1099, small business changes, mandate employers, data hub, income verification, employer insurance verification, have been repealed or delayed in the past 3 years, what's coming down the future? Anything that Treasury's looking at that I can tell my people back home, get ready for this?
Congressman, we are continuing to implement the Affordable Care Act, and we have no specific provision at Treasury that I'm aware of in mind that would call for, in our view, further transition relief. However, if it does develop that there is a legitimate need and one that's within our authority, which we take seriously, sir, and we very much begin with respect for the law and for the statute that Congress passed and the language of the statute. But if we need to exercise the long-standing authority, which has been exercised across different administrations under the 7805A section of the tax code with respect to another provision of the tax law, we would do that. There are many examples in the past where that has been done.
Gentleman's time has expired.
My interpretation of your comments, sir, is we can expect a Labor Day, a Halloween, or a Thanksgiving or Christmas surprise again. I yield back balance.
Gentleman's time expired. Now